So what is Linux? It is a free and open source operating system. So Linux is an operating system. We know what an operating system. Without an operating system, we cannot have a computer, right? So it is free and open source. It is similar to Windows. Most of us are familiar with Windows or Mac OS, right? But it's different in several ways, okay? If you have a Windows computer, you can run applications on it. If you have a Mac computer or operating system, Mac OS, again, you can run application on it. Now, Linux is a little bit different, right? Because it is very popular for its stability, its security, and flexibility. It can be modified and distributed by anyone, right? Which has led to many different versions known as distributions. So as a DevOps engineer, when you hear of distributions of Linux, these are other words will be called Linux flavors, or it will just be called Linux versions, right? We have, because it is free and open source, so different developers have come up and tried to customize it, right? They come up and they customize because it is free. They give you what we call the source code. The source code is open. It has an open source code. Because it's open, everybody can see how it was built. But now, because it's also free, I can take it and customize it and modify it, right, to how I want it. And that's what led to a lot of different versions of Linux, which we call distribution. And each distribution is tailored for different users. Now, if you go on this site, if I just open it, right, it brings you to this DistroWatch site, okay? DistroWatch site. If I go to page hit ranking right here, and I just scroll that down. So we look in the last 1 month. So all these are the different distributions of Linux, or what we call distros, the different versions of Linux that came from one that was originally created as Unix, but different people, because it had an open source, different people came up, developers, they worked with it, and they created different flavors to do different things. So when you look at, in the last month, the most popular was MX Linux, right? It's a distribution of Linux. It had like 25, over 2,500 hits, like downloads, or people that were using it. Then we have Mint. We have all this. When you look at Ubuntu that we'll be using, it was number 6 just within the last month. When you look in the last year, again, Ubuntu sits to about number 6. So all these are the different distributions of Linux, right? Different distributions of Linux. So we have a lot of distributions of Linux that different people have played around with, right? Up to 273. So all these are the different distributions of, they'll call them distros. These are just distributions of Linux that people have used. So you can look at the distro watch page, hit ranking. You can look at that page just to find out how different distributions are doing. If I look at Ubuntu, it is going to show you the operating system type. It is based on Debian. The origin is that, right? So you can read more about the different operating systems, right? And related website and packages. Yeah. So that is what makes Linux very popular. Its open source nature means that a community of developers and users, they contribute to its development. Okay, contribute to its development. Now, what was there before?